and didn't see anything but a great deal of speed. So, welcome, like I said again, here to Saddleback Soccer on SportsNetUSA.net as Mount SAC takes on the Bobcats from Saddleback. Both these teams sitting there in a so-so state. You look at the Mounties, they're 2-2-3. You look at your Bobcats, they're 1-3-1. And when I was talking about Mount SAC, you look at the size of them as players. This is familiar of when Fullerton just played Cuyamaca. Smaller players, but let me tell you, they could fly. And the back line for the Hornets could not play against them. They would take the Hornets out wide. Nobody would pick them up. They would make a crossing shot. Somebody would follow down quickly, and they got up on the Hornets. One of us predicted the game was going to end up 4-3. It ended up 4-1. I needed the Hornets to score a few more. But that's what this looks familiar today. So we'll see what BJ does with his team today, as he's going with a 2-1-3-4 setup today. And we'll see if they play long ball. This is something that they did. You know, you kick it to row Z if you're on the field and you're a Bobcat, and then you turn around and try and track it down. We'll see if that happens. We'll get the lineups in a second. Mount SAC, the Mounties, in all white. They're going from right to left on your computer screen. The Bobcats, your team you're watching today, their traditional colors, they're going from left to right on your computer screen. Linderman, Mendez will be in goal for the Mounties. Torres, Garcia, Quinzone, Prado, Nunez, another Prado, Barajas, Gomez, Limos. They will all be out on the field for the Mounties. Had an offside on that one. For the Bobcats, Contreras, Rodasender, he will be there, along with De La Riva, Fafalik, Lukmeyer, Yaguez, Sherman, Castillo, Garcia, and Cabernet will be on the field for your Bobcats today. BJ, a little more variety in this game. Cabernet in goal, wearing the pink kit for your Bobcats. Goals against, 3.60. So far this season, he's got 6 saves in the net for Saddleback. Goes over Limos. Limos gets it upfield for the Mounties. Quick throw in, and this is what you like, but you got to control it off the foot. Alexis Gomez just hasn't come in a little high. Can't control the ball, so it goes back to the Bobcats. Bobcats, we'll see what sort of offense they have there today. Quinzon takes it back to his own goal. And we head to the far side of the field. Avalos, the number 1 goal scorer. So if you can see him out there on the far side of the field, and Raphael's number is 17, he's got the most points on this team. He's got 8 points for the Mounties. He's got 4 goals this season. And you can see him on the inside. He's being tracked by 2 defenders, so you know who the Bobcats wish to stop. He's got the ball now. Gives it up. Drop it off in the middle. Trying to get a run down the field. And the goalie gets sort of stuck in no man's land. Wants to come out, pick up the ball, can't do it. Barajas for the Mounties. looking for somebody. Can't get a foot on it. They go to the middle. Kicked out quickly. And we already see what the Mounties want to do. They want to get their number one goal scorer down deep quickly on the field and then feed him the ball. Let him go 1 against 2 if he must here in this first half. Both these teams in their own conference trying to get ready for conference play. And so far this season, I've seen a few OEC teams play. I've seen Fullerton, I've seen Cypress, I've seen Saddleback play. Teams in other conferences here like Mount Sac, saw Long Beach. Again, try to look for the man cutting. Defense comes back. And when I said you look for your number one goal scorer, well, that's what they've done twice in this game so far for the Mounties. Four defenders back for your Bobcats. And they're a little quicker to man up and double team for the Bobcats in this game than their last game here at home that we saw here on SportsNetUSA.net. Go across the middle, nobody to pick it up. Shot blocked. Kicked out. Great save in the goal for your Bobcats. And Mendez goes down and just makes sure nothing happens with it. Excuse me, that's Cabernet. My fault. Got the wrong person in goal for your team. Cam Cabernet makes a great save for your Bobcats. Mount Sac will restart. They're playing across the 50 so far in this game, and this is something, if you want, you need to make the attack a cohesive attack for BJ's team. And you'll watch them every once in a while. They just get a little anxious passing the ball to each other. Mounties just a little easier as Alexis Gomez drops it off to Hunter Lemos. Goes back to Gomez. Gomez just zigging and zagging his way through the middle of the field. Cross high kick goes out. It'll be a goal kick. So the Mounties have been in attack this entire first half. No doubt about it in the first 7 minutes. And BJ's already looking to have a substitution come in and maybe change things up as Braden Collins comes in. And Daniel Contreras comes out. So Collins in for Contreras, and they're down talking to Contreras on the sidelines, sort of saying, this is what we'd like to see you do. Bigfoot from the goalie. Get a little push in the back from Mount Sac. Well, like Saddleback, hey, I'm just going to give the ball up just a little farther from myself. Luke Meyer here to the right side. Nobody manning up to him as he wanders down on the right. No coverage, and then all of a sudden you see the Mounties say, hey, you've got a guy in the corner. Do not leave him alone. Into the box on the right side. Curves away. Mounties trying to get it out. Bobcats keep it. Can't do anything with it. And a nice little push top of the body. Drag the ball back. They go to the far right side as Mount Sac looks to make an attack. Midfielder's important with this Sac team as you watch them coming down the field all the time. Barajas has a little push there. So the ball's going to go back over to your Bobcats. 9 minutes played in this first half, 0-0. on a very comfortable Tuesday afternoon here on SportsNetUSA.net. And you can see why there's probably a change in goal for BJ. He's got a goalie that really does have a cannon as a leg as he just scorches it down the field. You can actually watch sparks coming off the ball because of the friction. Deep drive into the corner. Trying to get it over to Prado, but Moises can't get to it. Moises Prado, the forward's got 1 goal and 1 assist this year for 3 points. Collision in the middle. Nothing called, and that's just a nice, real physical tackle on that. Nice no call by the referee. Ball's played, body to body. You take him down, put a little oomph on him, and you're okay. Seen that more and more here on the 3C2A level. And I like that a lot better than a little trip, a little shove, and we're going to make the game 4 hours long. Drop it to Gomez in the middle of the field. Gomez is really a general out there handling the ball for them. Barajas has it. Goes back over the middle. Looking for Gomez, couldn't get to it. Dropped it off to David Garcia, which I had David circled as playing, and then all of a sudden I got told he wasn't playing, but now he's out there, so. As Garcia went to make a header, and then the foot came up, and they said, you know, dangerous play, let's blow the whistle. And that's one thing you really like in the game of soccer. They try to protect all players out there. So when somebody's making a header, you don't want to get their foot up in their face. Quinzon has it. Brody. Hooker in the box. Offsides on the play, so sneak on down. You try to quietly get past the defender, but you have to remember to keep yourself on sides when you're doing that. And so the defenders for the Mounties decide to get involved in the attack. And just got a little far down the field when they did it. And if you're watching and you see that one little Energizer bunny in your screen there in your home team's colors for the Bobcats, well, that's Braden Collins, and that's why they put him on the field. He has energy galore when he plays this game. And is all over the field. Seems to never get tired while he's playing. Goes out. So Steven Torres brings it back in. Over to David Garcia. David Garcia brings it all the way over to Hunter Limos. And they let it go out. So it'll be a goal kick for your Bobcats. I'm looking right now, and the referee looks like he's sweating harder than any other player. He's out there mopping his brow on this warm day. Albert Robles, the voice of East LA College Sports, was telling me when we were walking up here, he could watch the heat waves coming off this football field. Yeah, they use the football field for main soccer games. They have beautiful regulation fields in the back that they practice on. They could use them for game days, but they choose to use this field here at Saddleback College. Curve to the backside. Nobody could get it. Close in quickly on that offensive player. Try to get him off the step, and Barajas just says, hey, you know, you're going to come after me, I'm going to let it go. And Fabian, the freshman midfielder, dances well with the ball. 2 points this season as we watch 5 players warming up. And this is one thing you'll get from this Saddleback men's team and women's team. You will see a galley of individuals playing the game. No, not a gaggle. A galley. You know, if you see them in the old days where they would row down the, oceans, that whole group that was sporting their physicality, they were in the galley. So Noah Eason is now going to come in the game. Was on the far side. Braden Collins comes out. So Braden comes out. Noah goes in for the Bobcats. Noah, that freshman, about 5'9", again brings you that quickness that you look for. Speaking of quick, Prado throws it in quickly for the Mounties. Tries to get things going. They go to Barajas. Barajas takes it all the way cross field. For Saddleback. Little slip there. They lose it for a second. And the ball goes out. So only one real threat. That was by the Mounties earlier. And, of course, a nice clean block over there. And, of course, the other football team from Saddleback was throwing those on Saturday night. Came away with a victory. Mount Sac, they were shocked in the other football game as the Citrus Owls held on to beat them. So right outside the box, foul was called. Middle of the field is clear. Now they change up just a little. And I thought Braden Collins came out. He came back in quickly, so Braden goes down defensively. Braden's going to keep an eye down low. Left shot over the top of the net. A missile launched from about 12 yards out. Just misses going in. So the Mounties looking like, and so the linesman said corner is going to be from the far side, not here the near side. So a corner for the Mounties. We'll see if anybody breaks on the ball. Here they come with the break. Backside, nobody from SAC was there, and the ball is cleared out. And it's that little slow roller, but you'll take it to the sidelines because the old adage, up and out, give you a restart, you'll be very fine with that outcome in a game. Lemos will throw it in here. Hunter looking for somebody to go to. Just drops it short. So 2 good shots. One definitely on goal. Great save by your Bobcats. They'll leave it here at 0-0. And the last one over the top. Got to make sure you take it away. Hunter says if nobody wants it, I'll take it down low. So as you watch the team in white, and that is Mount SAC, they are the ones that, which we saw the last time your Bobcats played, that are being the team that are going after the goals as the Bobcats sort of sit back right now. Joaquin Ramos Cardenas now in the game for the Bobcats. Joaquin out there with the number 4 on his back. Not many substitutes made by the Mounties here so far in this first half. And we can see why, as Barajas once again takes it to the far side of the field. Great little eye and foot coordination by Barajas of the Mounties. It's that ability to handle the ball, judge the amount of speed to put on it, and a trajectory on a roll. I mean, it's one thing to put it in the air. It's another thing to put it on the ground and have it roll the direction you want it to. And you can hear across the way the Mounties saying, sling it, sling it. They just want somebody to keep unleashing it in the middle, looking for backs. And, of course, once again, get out, take it down the field. You've got to clear it out as it accidentally goes off the face of a Bobcat. And that was Joaquin Ramos Cardenas that just had one bounce off his cheek. And it's off the corner there, and it'll be another corner as Braden Sherman has a kicked by a Mountie and bounces off of him to give another corner to Mount SAC. This is going to be their 4th so far of the game. 23:40 left so far. Almost 22 minutes played in this first half. And we're going to see the traditional conversations down low. You're going to have the goalie saying, you know what, he can't be given the physical push as there are 2 down there. He's got, and you're getting talked to if you're a Mountie about what you can and cannot do. As Joseph Prado is down by the net, and Prado's trying, now he'll back out towards the goal, off a foot, and cleared out. Good play defensively, up over the top again. So, good team defense as we get some more substitutions. Alexander Pavlovich comes in now for the Bobcats. And Gus is going to sit down for a while. No, Gus is going to stay in. Pedro Castillo is going to sit down for a while for the Bobcats. So, Castillo comes out. Pavlovich in for the Bobcats. So they take it back to reset. And if you're the Mounties, you love this because you don't necessarily feel an attack. You feel more a feeling of, okay, the offense has desperation in their soul because they can't get it to go downfield in the direction they want with the pressure they are desiring. No threat by the Bobcats. Easy pickup by Mendez. Like I said, coming into the game, he had goals against was 3.33. So this is where we really want to see what BJ and his coaching staff have as a offensive attack against these Mounties. Who will they find with the very strong leg and foot to continue an attack for the Bobcats? Alexander Pavlovich on the near side of the field. He is, if you get to see his jersey, number 11 while you're watching the game. Braden Collins is right next to him. So you've got two very crafty, fast individuals. If you watch the team come down the field, that would be on the right side for them. So I saw the referee walking over, sort of playing with his pocket, and we're going to take a water break here at 20:02. So because of the weather out there, this is where they will have a mandatory hydration break here on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert Robles says, well, if they're going to do it down in the field, I might as well power up and do it up here in the booth. So he's getting his hydration in. The referees are getting theirs and the players on the field. And this is a safety caution for players. And, you know, me being an old guy, yeah, I know if Corey Nayland's watching, Corey's going to say, Mr. Pavlovich, you don't drink enough water. And we already know that's true. But Mr. Nayland would say, you know what, you watch out for the safety of these student athletes here on Sportsnet USA. .net. And again, remember, these are student athletes. They come here to Saddleback or Mount SAC looking for an education and or a trade if they happen to have some sort of program where they could get a certificate in welding, carpentry, automotive. You know, these are the other aspects that community college give. Not just that, hey, all we do is transfer students on and see if they can get a BA in a subject that they are never going to use because nobody hires those people anymore at the next level. So, you know, that's the thing that you want to look at. So, I mean, when you look at community colleges, they offer a variety of good things with trades and everything else. And many people that come to community colleges are looking just for a skill in the workplace. So take a little time out and come to a community college, see what they have to offer here on SportsNetUSA.net. I like Mr. Ford was just reminding me that they also have nurses training on some of these campuses, showing me his theatrical ability here in the booth. And you watched for a second and you saw, you know, Joaquin Ramos Cardenas down on the field. When you watched him for a second, when he got his foot on the ball, you can see the skill of a young soccer player on this field for your Bobcats. And that's what BJ is always looking for in his team. Bright young players that understand the game and will play a team game, as soccer is. It's going to be another corner for the Mounties, and with 18 minutes to go, and we do have stoppage time in this first half because they did take a hydration break. The Mounties are not now going to have their fifth corner in this first half. And everybody will tell you cannot allow teams to constantly set up plays, which it is, into the box. Taken off a hip. And I think even if it would have gone in, it would not have counted. There was a little too much physicality down low with players who were not playing the ball. 0-0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Speaking of Saddleback, don't forget this coming weekend, little Saddleback football on SportsNetUSA.net. So if you're a alumni of Saddleback, current student at Saddleback, not only do we have soccer going on, but this coming Saturday, Saddleback football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Quinton in the middle. Defender comes up with the ball, goes over to Hunter Lemos. And you can hear everybody when he's got the ball on his foot, people yelling out his first name, Hunter, Hunter. They know this kid is just got the ability to find open people. Bobcats need to break out of their own end. And so far, it has been the Mounties who have been more skilled at attacking and taking the ball away in this first half. So the opposite side, not close to the goal. And like I said, you want to watch Rafael Avalos, the leading scorer of the team. We're finally going to get a substitution. Maybe two. So Fabian Barajas is going to go off the field for the Mounties of Mount Sac. First substitutions of this half for Mount Sac. A little shove in the back. And you just sort of run away because you know exactly what you did there. And you can see how quick Mount Sac starts things up. They don't dilly-dally with the ball. That almost sounds like an English term, dilly-dally. I'm sure I could hear a British guy going, yeah, they do dilly-dally with the ball, do they? Yeah. We'll have to keep this in our little mind pocket for the other football game. This is where you need to go. If you're the Bobcats, you need to get there. Pavlovich trying to be the one to get there. Take control of the ball. He runs around the field. You know, if you get those little games and you've got your hands on the joystick and you've got that character moving all over the place, that's him as a soccer player. Pavlovich says, Mr. Pavlovich, thank you. Got my foot on it in the middle. Oh! If you run with the ball and don't try to set it up with control, you are in by yourself on the goalie if you're the Bobcat team. Daniel Contreras just said, I just need to get a timing play. You know, as Corey Naylor will tell you in the game of basketball, everybody takes that extra dribble to get it down for timing to shoot the ball at a basket. You do the same thing here in the game of soccer. That extra dribble just to set it up right. And that's what Daniel tried. So we're sitting at 0, down to 12 minutes, and another corner. Boy, this is, everybody's going to say, okay, old guy, we get it. We get it. Repetition. Exactly. Eventually, as everybody sets up, and you can hear the bench yelling at their players saying, you need to come up. You need to go out. Again, quick hook, not on the foot, and what a great play. That was by Mount Sac. I got to tell you, that was a sweet play. I know everybody's going to say, oh, it looks like a misnomer. Hunter Lemos on the backside of the goal was waiting for that ball to come down on his foot, and he just couldn't get his foot at the right angle to guide it in. Beautiful play call by the Mounties. Alex Gomez now comes out of the game for the Mounties. So Gomez out. John J. Joseph is now in the game for the Bobcats. So John J. Joseph just came in for Mount Sac. If you're looking for John J., he's got the number 20 on his back. There's the break. Now we'll see if the attack, which is three-pronged, little behind, Pavlovich making an attack. He'll let it rip any second. He doesn't get the chances. He gets double-teamed. And he was looking so to take it out. Wide right, bring it across the middle. The double team stopped him from doing that, and the turnover goes back to Mount Sac. Got roughly 11 minutes without stoppage time left in this first half. Once again, you've got him on the right. They feed it perfectly. He needs to go in, just can't. Needs to hook it. Is it going to be a corner? It will be the first corner kick for your Bobcats. So you watch him down there, and again, I know I keep talking about him, but he is one of those people that BJ can have be on the field that can bring that extra. Braden Collins comes back in the game with about 10 minutes left in this half. So a short one. Pavlovich takes it back over here on the side. Cross the middle, on the ground, trying to control 3-on-1, tries a heel shot. 3-on-1, hey, you know what? Get the ball on the goal. Anything can happen. I like what you just saw from your Bobcats. Being innovative and at least giving themselves an opportunity. Mounties looking to find something, and we've seen with the men's game, in the last few we have been to, there always seems to be a goal in the last 2 minutes of the first half, and that sets the tone for the rest of the games here at Saddleback College. Whomever gets that first goal in this half walk away being winners. We'll see if that continues today here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, and the old guy, happy to bring you community college soccer. Another corner for the Mounties. We're now at 8 in this game. So we'll see if the Mounties can do anything with that. As Zen Franco, who was one of the substitutions, comes in, he will take the corner. Across the middle, off the body, it's going to be another corner. And you saw Rafael Avalos, when that starts to come on, the leading scorer for this Bobcat team, you will look at him, instead of hanging out in no man's land, he is going to come towards you, help you out, allow you to get the ball to him so he can go. And once again, he breaks towards the corner shot. On the back side, it's punched out and goes out for a throw-in. John J. Joseph goes running for the ball. So John J. has a throw to him in the throw-in. Long over the top of the net again. And that's almost the goal that we saw when Cypress played Long Beach City College. The ball got put on a foot. Nobody was going to pick up the man. He was 25 yards out, let it fly, and scored against Cypress College. Gus Rodesender comes back in the game. So Gus, that person who brings stability to this Bobcat team when he's on the field. Open on the right, hook it, goes back, tries to, gets knocked down the box. No real physicality, therefore no call. They take it away again. Pavlovich, the person that does, go to the far side. Need to track it down over there. Control it on your foot. Bring it back to the middle. They do. Once again, and Pavlovich was there, sort of looked around and said, I didn't know we were going to come back to the far side to me, and they did. So a good constructive attack by your Bobcats. Great deal of fluidity right now with them on the field. And this is what you like. What do? You step in front of an offensive player, you make them push it up a little, and then it will roll out. Mount Sac deciding, let's get a couple more people in here before this half ends. So Christopher Chavez goes off the field. So you bring a little more strength, a little more speed. Go to the far corner. Pavlovich follows it up. Steps over the ball. He had a clear path. Couldn't control it. That substitution, who's running down the field, Caleb Perez was the substitution that just came in for the Mounties. Takes a left footer on goal. And that is just absorbed by Kevin A. The goalie for your Bobcats. Drop it to a spot. Let somebody go get it. Daniel Contreras said, drop it by me. I'll go after the ball. So Daniel, when he gets out there, can use and utilize his speed for this Bobcat team. So this is where both teams need to be very aware on this field at this stage of the game. Something interesting has happened in the previous matches out here. Somebody being too physical down in the box. Somebody letting the ball fly and it just finds its way home. And that's going to be a goal kick. So up and down, great deal of speed both directions. See if Ed Ford will come on the air at halftime here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget tomorrow on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, Mount SAC will be with us again tomorrow. But it'll be the Mount SAC women taking on the women from Cypress College tomorrow at Cypress College here on SportsNetUSA.net. Talk about a really talented team, that Cypress women's team. Of course, the most talented team right now in Southern California, the women's team here at Saddleback College. And I'd like to say the state, but I've talked to too many coaches recently that just says, tell you what, the people you need to watch are those people that we at Sportsnet will talk about every once in a while, the Northern California teams. And many coaches have said, let me tell you, these soccer teams in Northern California are loaded this season. But I'll still go with my prediction. With the seedings right, I'm going to take Cypress and Saddleback women to play for the state championship. No jumping off the ledge now. If that's what I take, I'm going to stick with it. And see how close I actually get here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we're to the last 2 minutes. There should be a little bit of stoppage time for the hydration break. Mount SAC's men's team 2-3. No call. Ball goes down. The Mounties regroup, looking to try and do something. As Zen Franco had it on his foot. He loses it for Mount SAC. Pavlovich is breaking on it, but doesn't get the ball hit to him, and he thought he had Daniel Contreras leading it. Up in the air. Ball goes down. There's a hook of an arm. Now you shield him with your body and let it fly. Body comes up and makes that little human wall. And that brings us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's the Mounties 0, the Bobcats 0, here on SportsNetUSA.net. Remember tomorrow, Cypress College. That game will be at 3 o'clock here on SportsNetUSA.net. Then 6 o'clock this coming weekend. Well, the guys are going to be back at Saddleback. Albert Robles, Matt, Ryan, and Mr. Ford shall be here calling a little Saddleback football here on SportsNetUSA.net. And then you've got volleyball coming up. Is that next Monday? This coming Friday. East LA volleyball. This coming Friday, Albert Robles will be calling that game. And you know what? If you love the game of volleyball, you need to watch community college volleyball. There are some very talented individuals in the game of volleyball today. This coming Friday will be the women of East LA. So make sure you tune in to SportsNetUSA.net. So we've got more soccer in a few minutes, soccer tomorrow, volleyball on Friday, football on Saturday here on SportsNetUSA.net. You know, so Ed Ford and I here on sportsnetusa.net. You know how good that makes me feel?
What?
Just what I saw right there. Makes me feel good.
I'm a little tangled up here. Anyway. Saying before I had the microphone.
Yeah, that's true.
A
That's
little redundant.
true. Yeah, hey.
College, there is no such thing as women's volleyball. There's volleyball, and then there's men's volleyball.
Oh, okay. All right. Corey Naylor would.
Is the premier, I think, the premier.
You know what?
Of the equation.
You know, and I think if he was with you, Mr. Naylor would agree with that. I know Corey watches a lot of women's volleyball at all the different levels, and he finds them much more skilled than the men. Sort of like all three of our attitudes when it comes to softball compared to baseball players on the community college level. I know you and Corey and myself think that softball players are much more skilled than the baseball players on the community college level. So,
well, you want to translate that to another sport. We've seen two goalies out here do a fine job, but I don't know if everybody watching at home has noticed how far these guys can kick the ball.
oh yeah,
I mean, we're talking 50-yard kicks, 55-yard kicks. There's a team that plays American football, community college, that I think their punter is averaging 14 yards a punt.
ooh,
I think they better start looking towards the soccer team to find somebody to punt the ball.
didn't they do that one year?
Yes, they did.
They went and found a soccer player to be their field goal kicker.
Yeah, they had a player from the women's soccer team. It was Compton.
Yeah.
And we saw Compton men last year in soccer. They were in the playoffs.
Yes.
In the first round of the playoffs. They're a good team.
They are
were
a good
team
team.
last year. So I don't know why they don't do that again, because, my gosh, 14 yards, I'm sorry. I can average 14 yards a punt.
Yeah.
That's not saying a whole lot.
Well, and
Unless they're under so much pressure that, they can't get the ball off. But, go to a soccer player. Nobody says that the soccer player, whether it's from your women's team or your men's team, nobody says they have to be out there the whole 4 hours practicing and, banging into the sleds and stuff like that and getting knocked down. Just have them come out for half an hour, and punt some punts, and that's it.
I know
be realistic.
I know you brought it up. What's the shame of you don't have a program that's successful not having it? Cypress doesn't have a football team, Cypress College, and I know there's a couple teams down south that don't have football teams or all the sports, or I know there's other teams that you know about. When I'll talk to you about them, and you'll say, Mark, they only have this for women and that for men. And I know we all sort of chuckle, but hey, if you can't get the players out there, why have the program? It's going to cost you money. Why don't you just say, hey, we're not going to do this, and the money we're spending on football or any other sport that you can't get people to play, give it to the remaining teams that are out there and, let them have more finances to be successful. I've never understood why you have to have all these teams out there. And the reason, because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, if the school can't really afford it. I know when one of our discussions about an Alice State football team playing Fullerton College or somebody like that, and I know it was explained to us a couple of years back, people don't want to accept the have and have not scenario where people feel like, well, gosh, our district doesn't have the same tax base or whatever it might be, that we can't raise those kind of funds at our community college to compete against a school like, let's say, Saddleback, that has excellent facilities. Well, there's already haves and have-nots. Let's face it. 2 years ago, You had LA Mission makes it to the playoffs. They're the number 8 seed team in softball. That next season, and probably during that season, they didn't even have an on-campus place to play softball.
Exactly.
Had to play in a park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Chris did a fantastic job and has done a fantastic job of bringing that softball program along. So, hey, they don't have a field yet. Go up north about 400 miles and you go to West Valley. That has a $19 million softball field. Hey, there's already haves and have-nots. So let's just throw that argument out the window and let's go for more competition, more diverse competition. And that's how I think, and you think, and Corey, and Albert, that's how we could build community college sports.
Yeah, and it's real interesting, Ed, because in a conversation over at East LA, where we were at, Mr. Nalen and I were with Albert Robles, the voice of East LA football. We had a conversation with an athletic director who knows some of the teams outside the state of California very well. As a matter of fact, he knows the teams in the state of Utah, which you have mentioned more than once, very well. And we were talking about, wouldn't it be nice, because I know you've said it more than once, hey, these teams should play. And his statement was, because he comes from the old days at this school, he brought up the term Junior Rose Bowl and said, oh, it'd be nice if we had a real Junior Rose Bowl again so we don't have mythical national championships, so we could actually crown a champion for community college football. And then he gave us, Mr. Nalen and myself, the reason why they don't play here. One body of community college says, no, we don't have a rule against it. But a sub-body of a community college says we do have a rule against it. And Ed, I know, I'm not trying to get us in trouble, but I just have a real problem with people say, let's expand the game. Let's go take trips and see how these other organizations, and yet they won't let anybody just hop on a bus and, like you've said, take that 5-hour drive and go play somebody in another state. I don't get it.
Yeah, and in other sports, it does happen. Soccer and this Mount SAC team, for instance, they play Arizona. They've played the Arizona teams a couple of years. Texas, Fullerton College did it, not this season, but the season before. They played Yavapai. They played, I think it might have been Central. They played 2 of the Arizona teams. And Mount SAC normally puts on their men's, I don't know what they call it, but they have some sort of name for it.
They still do.
And they brought in the team from Texas to play, which won the championship, the NJC 2A championship 6 years in a row. I mean, to me, that's what you want to do to build the sport. It builds it for everybody. It builds it for the 3C 2A, builds it for the NJCAA, and I think it also would give more of a spotlight to the 3C 2A, and if they really did dominate the NJC 2A teams, then they could say, hey, we've told you all along, we're the best out here in California. But when you won't play anybody from out of the state, now, like I said, soccer is not the case. Basketball plays some games out of the state also. It's just we have a problem with baseball, soccer, and especially football.
Yeah, yeah.
But the days of the Junior Rose Bowl, I'm old enough to remember when that used to occur, and they would play it in Pasadena, and it went on for a while, I think into the 80s, and then it disappeared.
Yeah, well, and you would have people to come and watch that. I mean, you talked about SAC. I mean, state champions, I think it was 10, 11, 12, 13, and then in 21 by the same head coach. And he's done that through the years. He has gone and taken that team and built that team up through the years so that he would make it a championship program. And when you talk about him, hasn't been afraid to do it. 23 years now, Juan Sanchez has been at Mount SAC. He's coming into this season 388, 55, and 56. And, of course, he was Coach of the Year 2003, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2015. 21. And Edwin, I talked about championships. 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, and 21 is when he was the state champion. And then they did earn national titles also. 17 South Coast Conference titles. This is a coach that likes to take his team outside the state and say, you think you're that great? Come play Mount Sac. We'll find out how good you are.
And as we transition to the official rankings that have come out from the United Soccer Coaches of America, and this is a national poll, so they have Division I, Division II, and Division III community colleges. And the Division III, it's not the same as was explained to us by the former athletic director at East Arizona College. It doesn't have anything to do, it's not like the NC2A with Division I, II, and III. It revolves around how much scholarship money you get. Division III teams, obviously the community colleges in California don't have scholarships, and neither do some of the community colleges in the NJCAA. So, Division III, Cuyamaca is number 1 in the men's poll, and this is the latest men's poll from today. Dallas College Richland, and that's a team we mentioned before that has come out here to play Mount Sac and some other teams. Pasadena is 3rd. El Camino is number 4. So right away we've got 2 teams from the South Coast Conference. Finger Lake is next. Then it is Norco, and we talked about what a surprise Norco is. Cayuga Community College, they sit at number 7. They moved up 1. Cerritos, another South Coast Conference team, is in the 8th position. And as we've discussed, Mark, a very historically well-coached team that has had a lot of success here in California. Camden Community College is 10. Herkimer College is they're number 10. Camden is number 9. Santa Monica, and have we seen them play?
I have not.
I think we saw them a couple of years back. I think they played Cypress. I think that was a women's game, though. But we haven't seen them play this year. Las Positas College, I've been there. That is a beautiful campus. They have, much like here, they don't play football there. It's basketball, swimming, water polo. Don't even think they have track and field. But for soccer, they have a very nice practice field that I would say is on the level of what Saddleback here has. And then for their actual games, I think they're still doing that. They have a grass field, beautiful grass field that they keep in excellent shape. So another of the colleges I've wandered to. San Bernardino Valley College is number 13 in the men. 14 in the men is Cypress. So the Cypress men have moved up from last week. LA Mission is up to number 15. We were talking about LA Mission before, and let's throw it back to Mark.
So we're back to community college soccer here on sportsnetusa.net. And we'll let you just watch as Ed Fort, go ahead and finish this list as we go. Instead of stopping where we're at, they can watch the game and you can finish things up.
Okay. De Anza is 17, Hartnell 18, both 3C2A teams. SUNY Ulster is number 19, and Oxnard creeps in at number 20.
And I saw Cuyamaca play. I like them. They are a speedy little team. And I do mean the word little, that there's not some gargantuan guys out there. There's some well-toned athletes, but they have foot speed. They can outrun anybody, and they did that against Fullerton College when they played them. So it's one of these seasons that you're going to see. And, of course, you mentioned Cerritos. They've always been good in the game of soccer. We've seen them play more than once. So we'll see what happens this season here in the Southern California section with the different conferences going on. And get ready. And remember, again, soccer, like softball, like a lot of the programs now, are involved in rating systems. It's not just what your record is. It's who you played, how you beat them or who you played and how close your loss was. Soccer has followed in the footstep of softball. Yeah. RPI. Ah, sorry. Didn't mean to say a nasty word on the air. So the Mounties are moving left to right. They're in their white jerseys, their white shorts, and, of course, your Bobcats in traditional colors. And we have a player that's down on one knee as we just started this second half here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Mark, looking at what's transpired so far, I can't really say that, sometimes we do these games and Saddleback just has too much speed for teams. This time it's very close, same sort of foot speed with both teams. The Mounties have been more aggressive, had the ball on the attacking half of the field more. I think what has happened with the Mounties, though, is despite their dominance in that, they sort of have missed a lot of passes where they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ed. I mean, I think that's one of the things with both these two teams. They've got some excellent scorers, and every once in a while when they're on a break, you think they've got a rush, and then somebody just kicks the ball in the wrong direction or can't get the pass off at all. And so there's not that fluidity we see from the very talented women's team on this campus or Cypress College. We'll get to see the women from Mount Sac tomorrow. We'll see how they play against that very talented Cypress team this season. Mounties trying to regain the, spell they had put on the men here in that first half. And we'll see if they can control this half like they did the first half. Ned brought it up. There wasn't the final connection. And, when you got 9 corner kicks, Ed, you would hope that you would get a little more productivity out of 9 corner kicks. Mounties making their breakdown. Once again, Alex Gomez seems to have it. Dropped it off. Miss hit, and Ed, you dropped the ball off to the best player on your team who can't turn to make the shot. And so they've tried all day to get it to Rafael Avalos, who's the leading scorer for this Mountie team. He's got 8 points, 4 goals this season. Just can't get it through the mouth of the goal. So the Bobcats, once again, watch somebody pull down the shades over the window and nobody could peek in, and that's exactly probably how the Mounties feel about getting a goal into the goalie and getting it past him. There's the big leg that Ed's been talking about in this soccer game. Pavlovich just missed it. So I think the Mounties still have Mendez with the orange kit on in the goal for them. See if we got a change for the Bobcats next time down. So another goal kick. Corner kick, excuse me, for the Mounties. This has become repetition. Sort of think at this stage of the game, you would have a play. Twice they've been close with plays. Cross the middle. and good defense by your Bobcats. If there was a free foot on that play, Mount Sac would have scored with Nathan Nunez. But the Bobcats, once again, get away without having anything happen to them so far in this half. Once again, we'll see if the Mounties can find something. Defense now is corralling the Mounties any chance they get. A little give and go. Try to give and go in the middle. Nothing there. They take it back out on top. Pavlovich tries to steal it for your Bobcats. And we're going to get offsides on the far side of the field. Eight minutes have gone by. And again, as I heard a whistle, I was waiting to see if there was a substitution. And the whistle was from the referee, a response, my fault. That's what happens when you keep the whistle in your mouth while you're running down the field. Start breathing heavy and it blows on its own. Tried to drop it in the middle, and once again, trying to get it to your big score. And what do? You step in between the ball and the pass. And so far, the back four defenders for your Bobcat team have been there all the time to make those saves for them. And that's the thing you need.
Quickly looking at the women's rankings. In the national poll, Delta College is number 1, Saddleback is number 2. However, you don't want to play judge, jury, and executioner here, but I think we're going to. The record they have for Delta College, this is the latest poll on the 23rd, is not correct. They are not 6-0-1. They have 2 losses and 2 ties. I think they're 2-2-2. So somebody is feeding them bad information. So I think that pretty much says that Saddleback is number 1. I mean, we just went to the Delta College website and it says 2-2-2. It does not say 6-0-1 for soccer.
Well, maybe the pigeon didn't make it, or somebody ate the pigeon because they were hungry.
You know, there are a lot of feral cats around.
That's true.
So if we put Saddleback at 1, then Folsom Lake, Long Beach is in there. Cypress would be 4 probably. City College of San Francisco. And then Mount Sac women would be number 7. So tomorrow we're going to have a matchup at least between 2 and 7, more like 1 and 6 in the nation.
There we go. Should be a good one tomorrow here on sports.usa.net. Start the playoff. Kick. Knocked away, a beautiful save on the far side of the field. And once again, the goalies have stood up big. And I think, and I'll have to check when I can see it better, but I think Andrea Fanos now is in goal for your Bobcats. And, of course, when you look at him, that would be his 25th. That would be his 26th save of the season. Pavlovich says, hey, I'm running, guys. You got to get it to me. You know, I'm that lightning quick player that when I'm going down the field, I tilt the field. You've got to get me the ball. And you can hear the sidelines for your Bobcats yelling over there. As BJ looks to bring in a couple substitutions. 1-on-2, trying to turn, trying to keep it away. Dribble it, kick it out, give it to a partner, take it back to the middle, spread the field if you're the Bobcats. Force the Mounties to play defense. So, yeah, Andrea Fanos is in the goal. Now for your Bobcats in the pink kit. He's made 2 excellent saves. Bennett Lark now comes in the game for the Bobcats, along with Braden Collins. So Bennett Lark, a freshman, speedy little forward. We'll see again. So BJ is searching, Ed, for that person that can just get it into the net. The Bobcats reset, taking it all the way back. Nice, out the middle, but turn it over. This time they've got to rush. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Goal for the Bobcats. And this is where they just let it fly there. And I'm going to say that was Prado that got it in. See if we can see this again. Across the middle, lets it go. And yeah, that was Prado who put that goal in for the Bobcats. What's this Prado? Goal number 2 for him this season. Mounties. What did I call them? Did I? Oh, Mounties.
Bobcats are up in the mountains, you know.
There you go.
What can you say? Well, it had to happen sooner or later, and you pointed that out earlier in the game. You just can't let somebody always be in the attacking half of the field. Eventually, they're going to score.
Yeah. And I mean,
no matter how good your defense is.
It was a simple crossing pass, Ed, that you set right on somebody's foot. And that's going to go back to what you said earlier about the Bobcats, that they just cannot complete a play so far in this game today. So Prado gets his second goal of this season. 2 goals, 1 assist. He's got 5 points right now. And if you're a Mountie, you like the fact that you've got somebody else now that's stepped up.
And you don't have to turn this game around instantly, and, get a goal and tie things up if you're the Bobcats. But at least you've got to turn it 180 degrees to where you're in the attacking half of the field most of the time. That'll put pressure on the Mounties defense, and eventually they will slip up and you'll get that play connected and score.
Now, they didn't say anything about an assist, but I thought it was Nathan Nunez that set that play up and put the ball on the foot of Prado. So for right now, unofficially, I'm going to say Nunez gets the assist. They'll be looking at the film later, and then they'll officially give it to you. But I'll humor myself and say Nunez gets the assist. And Ed, on that play, there's no way you can defend that play once he lets it fly.
Yeah, it was just, it was all there, it was all set up, it was executed. There were no sort of mediocre passing there. It was all done right.
So the Mounties feeling chipper after that one. The sun gets a little brighter on the field. So Mother Nature shining right now on Mount Sac. Mount Sac sees what else they can do. They come out wide once again. Foot on ball. You've got to like that, though, for your team. Luke Meyer gets his foot on the ball. Christopher, solid player, solid midfielder for the Bobcats. Julian Vasquez throws it in for the Mounties. Up 1-0. So they finally found the magic trick to get on the board. See if they can double it up now as they once again, like Ed said, you've got to reverse the field because they are like ants looking for some loose butter. You know, those little grease ants you have at home that you just can't get rid of. The Mounties are just swarming all over the kitchen table right now. If you're a Bobcat, that's what it feels like. Shot, block there. Follow up, can't get it. And now you've got to reverse the field. Once again, Mounties get the ball back. Miss once, they're going to try it again. Take it out wide. Drop it over the middle. Little stumble. Caught a foot in the grass. In the middle. Stay in the box. Missed it there. Player went down on his own. And we've got timeout on the field. And he looks at the referee and says, I got pushed from behind. I didn't see him get pushed. Did you, Ed?
No, I didn't see that. I don't think we can go back that far.
Okay.
But we can try. Nope.
Okay. Because he looked at the referee and said, hey.
I didn't see a push. All I saw was the chance they had, but the ball went through the player's legs for the Mounties, and then suddenly he was down.
So you see the Bobcats get a nice kick out by their goalie. Somebody goes up and does a header. There is nobody there to retrieve the ball. And it goes back to the team right now that even though it's only 1-0, from a fan's point of view, the team in white, Mount Sac, seems to be controlling this game.
Yeah, I mean, they rapidly get the ball back with a takeaway, and once again, they are in the offensive end of the field.
Dropped in the middle,
Lord.
kick, corner, save that time. And that was a heck of a save. As you watch again, settle the ball. He does that. Defender goes by. He goes to the far corner because the goalie's coming out. And once again, coming up big for your Saddleback team was Andrea Fanos, who makes an outstanding save for the Bobcats.
Might have been one that should have pulled the trigger a little sooner on that one.
So we're going to get a free kick roughly around the 30, and this is where you want to see that thing put on goal. Big high floater, easy little save. That, you know what, that's like a lollipop line drive in the game. And Mendez, who I believe is still out there, saves that. Crowd perking up down below.
Well, that didn't come off really a little bit too much time.
Yeah, exactly.
In words of Sticks, too much time on my hands. Throwing some for Randy Rutier. He just loved all those Midwest rock bands like Styx and REO Speedwagon and Kansas. And, you know, the list goes on and on and on.
Randy's now getting out his cassette tapes. Hitter, backside, just missed the side of the net. And that is really your first offensive play by the Bobcats. Up, over.
That was going in.
And the goalie was lost on that because of ball movement. If on the goal, we'd be tied at 1. So 22 minutes being played in this half. We've got about 23 left with no stoppage time. And your Bobcats got close. 1-0, Mount Sac. Break. Going down, you've got to take it back the middle. Let your goalie pick it up. Goalie loses it. Ball gets away, and again, you can't be nonchalant about anything on this field if you're a Bobcat. Off the post, and there was no movement by the goalie on this. Watch this. Left footer. He never moves, and it hits the post.
Well, maybe he knew exactly where it was going. You know, kind of like Mark when you're out there with the Beckley on the course.
There we go.
You know exactly where it's going, and you know it's going to hit that flag stick.
Oh, I like positivity. Castaneda comes in the game along with Ligate. Jeremy is out there, another forward for these Bobcats. So the Bobcats looking for something, some speed, something somewhere. Bennett Lark goes sit down. Pavlovich stretching on the far side of the field. Can't get anything. Joaquin Ramos Cardenas getting a little water. And I'm sure BJ is saying what I'd like to get is at least one goal as we have a trip. So a delayed whistle. We're about halfway through this second half. 1-0. The Mounties. They came through big time. Prado scores it in all the way to the back. Go to get the ball. You've got to come down first. Control it. Get it out. Take it away. Got to stick with it. Take it back. Once again, come back far side. Go and fight for the ball. It comes down. You got to follow up. This time they do that. Castaneda playing with it. They take it back out on top to Luke Meyer. Luke takes it to the far side, and that's going to go out.
You talk about the old soccer saying, when in doubt, up and out.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
I haven't seen the Mounties do that once this game.
No, the Mounties are,
they are very confident that they can regroup, call their play, and start to proceed to execute it.
Yeah, and they look like they've gotten stronger as this game has gone on too. I mean, I know that they looked like bumblebees in that first half, all over everything, but it just looks like they're stronger as a team, that they don't panic or anything, even when the Bobcats get a rush.
We must be on another. Are we on another
hydration break? Yeah.
Hydration break? Okay,
yeah.
That's what I.
They looked up here. They saw how comfortable Albert was drinking his soda pop, and somebody said, "Hey, could we get that?" We looked at. They know Matt's just calm and cool and consistent, and just back here.
So we thought he didn't have a bat earlier. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
See, Matt giving that heavy sigh right behind.
he's just ice cool.
He is. Yeah, I was going to say.
Way long. It's been
Yeah.
fine, but then
Just like a giant snowman. He gave that exhale there. And it got icy
I forgot my hat though.
in the back there. It was scraping the cold weather off our screen.
No, they let the clock run during the hydration.
They do,
break.
so that'll be added on as stoppage time.
But last time, they stopped the clock up a little.
They did. Yeah, last time they did, but it would still be stoppage time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was with you too, Ed, because I looked over there too and went, wait a minute, you're running the clock? Okay.
Well, our clock is still running, so we're saying just under 18 minutes, and there will be, as Mark said, there will be some stoppage time. We'll just see how much there will be.
So the referee just scolded Foplik. He was running around the corner while he was warming up. Didn't have an orange vest on to say, I'm not on the field. And so they stopped the game a little more because of what they would feel would be deception by the Bobcats. You think that person running down the field is a player in play. Sort of like the infield fly rule. Deception. There it is. No one's there. And this is, if you just saw that on the field, that is an example what Ed Ford has mentioned in this game so far with the Bobcats. You go, you break, you do a heel pass, and the person is cutting in front of you, not behind you. Not only do the Mounties want to win this game, but now, sitting here at 1-0, well, they want to keep a clean sheet in this game. And here comes the rush again as they spread the field out for the Mounties. Cut towards the middle, on the foot, taken down from behind. That it should be a penalty. You can't run that play any prettier. Watch him come down on the right wing. He outruns the defender. The ball is in front of him. And what do? You panic and shove somebody down from behind. So Saddleback will get a penalty kick. I mean, the Mounties will get a penalty kick. And Fabian Barajas will come in and take the penalty kick. So Barajas. Right foot, down lower corner, and it's 2-0. The Mounties. And so Fabian Barajas, once again, now he's got 4 points for the season. That's his second goal with unofficially about 14 minutes left in the second half. But Ed, you saw that play. You've talked about it all day long here with the Mounties. They just look cool on the field and very in control of any plays they call.
That has definitely been their signature so far this afternoon. I mean, you get triple team there. It's hard to stand on the attack if you get triple teamed.
Yeah, and the back line for the Bobcats is staying at home. They're not getting in the attack, not because they should do that, but they're going to stay back because they've gotten beaten too many times on the backside. So you got BJ keeping people at home in their positions, instead of sort of saying, okay, well, we're down by 2. Even with stoppage time, with about 16 minutes to play, we'll attack more. He has decided not to do that. Spin move. Hold on to the ball. Tried to get it through the wicket, could not. This is where you need to make the break. Can't get the header. Take it back to your goalkeeper. Challenge him. Make him get it off his foot, which is what the Bobcats do.
And Mark, that was a very nice spin move.
Wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah. That was a sweet little play while you're watching it out there for Mount Sac. And again, Alex Gomez is a sensational player for this Bobcat team. I mean, Alex is one of those midfielders who's got the ball right now, who just can weave and wag his way down through the field. Alex brings it up again, looks out, goes to somebody by themselves. Take it to the far side. In the middle. Turn, miss, try to get it back. Nobody's there. This is where you need to carry it up the field, not kick it. Down on the ground. Called right there. And again, when you're playing chase and you come behind Steven Torres and you trip him, once again, you're setting yourself up in a dangerous way. 2-0. Mount Sac just starts to slowly, you can feel the water leaking from the bucket as the clock ticks. Bobcats set up the wall. Gomez. Far corner, near corner, then he hooked it. Edford, he just missed that by a smidgen. Watch it here. Just about a half a foot more to the left. There's a possibility of being 3-0 in favor of the Mounties. Nobody stops. In the middle, try to control. It becomes a goal kick. And Alex Gomez is just incredible as BJ now decides we're going to drop in a bunch of young people. Joaquin Ramos Cardenas is going into the game. Daniel Contreras back in the game. Alexander Fafalik comes in the game. Gus comes back on the field. He strolls on there. And you just looked at Gus. He said, we got to pick up the pace, guys. Got to wind the clock just a little quicker. And, of course, the last one on the field, Diego de la Riva comes in the game for your Bobcats. Those are all the substitutions for the Bobcats. Fafalik looking to take it to the right side of the corner. Blocked. Save there. The first time a solid shot on goal for the Bobcats. Stretch out wide. If he was a half an inch shorter, the Bobcats would have a goal.
And a nice swat there on the for the Mounties.
Daniel Contreras thought he had a goal.
Well, he had it in the right position, but last minute, last second.
Edson Mendez making an acrobatic play in goalie for the Mounties. 8:42. Well, we've seen this act from the men before. With about 9 minutes to go, all of a sudden they get a goal in. Then they find a way to tie the game. Deep throw. Mendez punches it out. Headers. Bobcats control. Far side. This time. And just pulls it down. So Mendez keeping the sheet clean right now for the Mounties. And they have controlled both ends of the field. I stop, I dance. I try to take it through somebody's feet. Can't do that, but we continue with the throw-in.
I know you don't want to get beat by not having enough defense ready, but I think you get to a point where you got to just start pressing it offensively. Forget about them scoring another goal. If they score another goal, game's over. So.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Ed. This is, I know I'm not a soccer coach, but this is where I start pushing everybody up the field.
See if you can overwhelm their defense where they can't double team you or triple team you.
And if I've got somebody as speedy as Pavlovich, I still want to keep him on offense, but I've got somebody else like him. I'm going to keep them back deep as a sweeper. It would be maybe a 3-on-1 break against him, and I put him in that position. But I would want to do that so that I would have extra attackers offensively. Stop and go. Once again, spin move. Ed's talked about the ability and the artistic ball handling by this Mountie team.
I mean, right there, Bobcats were in a 2-on-3 situation. You need that to be 3-on-3 or 4-on-3 in their favor.
Spread the field if you're Mount Sac, which will open up the defense. Take it up the middle. Try to go back to the side. Now you've got to go if you are the Bobcats. And you've got to put it in a place that your player is going to get it. So either go very, very long or very short. Mounties on the outside. 1-on-3. Gets by 1. Gets by 2. Hooks it to the backside of the goal. Takes it to the inside. Wants to drop it in the middle. And that goes off the goalie. Did that hit the back of the net or go in the net? That went in the net. Off the goalie from an absurd angle. Watch this angle. Backside. Kick off the hands of the goalie. So that's what deflects it into the net for just, I tell you what, that's more of one of the more sensational goals I've seen in a long time in the men's side.
I wasn't even sure whether that was a goal or not. I wasn't sure what happened.
Shot by Fabian Barajas is in, and it's a goal for Barajas, his second of the game. Comes to the 83rd, 3-0 Mount Sac.
Yeah, I thought, Ed, when it got deflected, that it was deflected on the back of the goal from some way. And then nobody from the Mounties started dancing. It was just like, oh, yeah, we scored a goal. So what? But Barajas, just from an incredible angle, makes this a 3-0 game. It was so good, it's waking up the cats here at Saddleback College. That could be a cat that hid in our bag from Cyprus. Is that what we did? Was that a Cyprus cat and we're bringing him over here every time we do a game? I mean, we're just transporting animals. I need to know, that's all.
Well, we thought we'd gather them from Cyprus, bring them down here to South County, and let them loose, because there's different rules in different cities.
And there's wilderness here in South County.
That's right.
They could go play in the golf course. Look at those sand traps. That's heaven for any cat that lives down here. So far, heaven is being a Mountie on this field today. Far off the top of the goal. Almost goal number 4. And now you run. You carry the ball. Don't worry about slowing down. You needed to pull the trigger. And it's like you heard my partner Ed Ford say, you need to take these shots earlier in the day. And they've just become a little shy on pulling the trigger. Far to the outside. Take it back to the middle. Oh, off the wrong foot. That was such a sweet pass right there. Alfonso Ramirez. I'm so excited now. Put it in the right spot for Steven Torres, and Steven just couldn't get it into the goal. Oh, yeah. Albert Robles said that was picturesque for them all together. About 2 minutes left to go. We'll see if we get stoppage time for hydration, as now the Mounties have just decided we're going to start letting a few more players come on the field.
Well, we'll get some stoppage time for the injured Mountie being down, now getting up. So that should add about 30 to 40 seconds.
Okay. So
At this point of the game, you're down 3-0. Either you work on some plays that you want to actually execute the next game you go out there. You know, practice is one thing, but doing that in real competition is another thing. Or you just go all out and don't worry about them scoring another goal because you're down 3-0. Now see if you can kind of play a short time, high intensity offense here and get at least one goal.
let's see if that happens as David Garcia walks off the field for Mount Sac. So he was down for a second, but fortunately David got up and walked off on his own accord, which is always a good thing to see on the community college or any level when it comes to a sport. Well, the Mounties are feeling good. Pavlovich on the far side. Takes it over. We shall see how much stoppage time. We had a hydration break and then a player down. So maybe a minute and a half when we see that. We've got 50 seconds on our own. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Hey, that's nice. We actually had an official that said it loud enough so we know. So we have 3 more minutes to go in this game of stoppage time. As the shade comes in here on SportsNetUSA.net. Albert Robles, Ed Ford. Well, we're back out tomorrow with soccer. The women of Cyprus take on the women of Mount Sac, and like Ed Ford said, nationally, that will be a matchup against, I believe you said 4 and 7, Cyprus and Mount Sac.
Oh yeah,
4 and 7 tomorrow, and that game will be at 3 o'clock here on SportsNetUSA.net. So that should be just a fantastic soccer game. If you can't be out there at Cypress College with us, make sure you watch it here on SportsNetUSA.net. Friday night, East LA volleyball with Albert Robles here on SportsNetUSA.net. And then Saddleback football this coming Saturday here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, the Mounties have looked smooth, silky, and determined in this game. The Bobcats, as hard as they played, just were a little disjointed along the way. And that's been the difference in this game so far tonight with the Mounties and the men from Saddleback playing each other. Mounties looking to go 3-2-3. The Bobcats looking to not go 1-4-1, but it looks like the time is going to run out on them in this game.
Yeah, there should be under a minute left of stoppage time.
Referee looks at his watch here on SportsNetUSA.net. So headers, and then the ball goes out, goes to the wall, and it'll click away. And the referee looks at his watch again.
There can't be more than 10 seconds left.
Yeah, and I was thinking that if it was a rush the other direction, there'd be more time. I thought when the Mounties threw it in, he might just wait for it to hit the ground and then blow the whistle. I think he's going to wait for this shot, let him finish the shot, save there, and that's it. So that brings us to the end of this game as the Mounties from Mount Sac throw a clean sheet from the Saddleback Bobcat team. It's the Mounties 3, the Bobcats 0, here on SportsNetUSA.net. Fred Ford, Albert Robles, I'm the old guy. Don't forget tomorrow, little Cypress College soccer here on SportsNetUSA.net, as we had a decent one today as the Mounties come away with a huge victory here on SportsNetUSA.net.